Welcome to the Auburn High Basketball Academy Player Development Series. I'm Coach B. This is Episode 2, Blast Cuts. In this episode, we're building off the foundation we laid in Episode 1, where we introduced court geography, spacing, and the concept of single and double gaps. If you missed that episode, you can click the tab in the top right of the screen to catch up before watching this video. Today, we're going to talk about how we attack double gaps off the ball using one of the simplest but most powerful actions in basketball, the blast cut. Last time we showed why driving into a double gap creates better opportunities than trying to force a drive into a single gap. But what if the offense starts in a neutral state, meaning we don't yet have an advantage? That's when we need to create one. A blast cut is one of the best ways to do that. A blast cut happens anytime a player cuts into a double gap, usually from the corner to the Houston or the dunker spot to the Houston. This changes spacing, moves defenders, and opens up decision-making opportunities. Blast cuts show up everywhere in the game, whether you recognize them or not. You can find them built into stagger screens, elevators, gates, pin downs, flex actions, and floppy actions. The cut might look different depending on the play, but the principle is the same. You're moving into a double gap to either receive the ball or trigger a read. So in this episode, we'll break down what to do after the blast, whether it's catching and shooting, curling tight off the screen, slipping the backdoor, or attacking with a dynamic cross. Let's get into it. The first read that we'll talk about is shooting. If the defense is late, sagging, or caught ball watching, we want to shoot off the catch. This should be the first instinct every time we catch the ball. If we're catching on the move and in rhythm, this becomes a high percentage shots that puts pressure on the defense. Here's some examples of our guys using blast cuts in various actions to get wide open threes. In these examples, see how the defender is going under the screen and our player is ready to shoot the moment he catches the ball. Now that you've hit a couple shots, the defense should make an adjustment. The first adjustment they'll make is to sit in your shirt pocket. This means that their goal is to run you off the line and not let you to continue to knock down three after three after three. Since the defender is trailing right behind you, don't drift to the Houston. Curl hard off the cut into the double gap. This allows you to catch the ball mid-stride, attacking the basket with the defender on your hip. This creates an advantage. The defense must commit the help to stop the score, which creates a 2-on-1 situation. Let's look at some examples featuring one of the best curling guards in the country, Tyrese Proctor. Since the defense is trailing the cut, then Tyrese and Con are able to make the big man commit, leaving the dump off open or the shot wide open. For two reads where the offensive player has now beat the defense with the three and with the curl. So a coach might tell a defender to deny the ball. The goal for the defense is to not let the hot hand touch the ball. If the defender jumps the passing lane or denies a catch, go backdoor. One of the universal signals that we use when trying to go backdoor is a closed fist stretched out instead of an open palm calling for the ball. If you signal for a backdoor, commit to the cut. Even if the defense guards it, finish a cut with pace at 100% because you're still creating a double gap for somebody else. Let's look at some example of backdoor cuts. The key to seeing these videos is the setup. It doesn't take much. As soon as the defender steps too high, cut with pace. The last read off the blast cut that we'll look at today is the dynamic cross. This one is a little more fluid in its rules. Essentially, a dynamic cross occurs when the defense overplays, but the offensive player has already received the ball. This can happen from a bad deny or an over-aggressive closeout. The offensive player who was initially thinking shoot needs to recognize the advantage and immediately attack downhill. Most of the time, the drive will go to the side of the court that the player just cut from because they just left a double gap. This read is often the hardest to commit to because it usually happens after another read breaks down, but when done correctly is a momentum shifting play. Let's look at some examples of how a dynamic cross works in different situations. Here, Tyrese realizes that he can't get the shot off, so he drives the double gap and gets the bucket. Same situation in the next one. No shot, drive to the paint. In this last one, Khan blast cuts and probably should have backdoored here, but he eventually gets the ball, drives a double gap, and gets another score. Now let's recap. Blast cuts create movement in space. You read depends on the defender, shoot at their space, curl if they trail, backdoor if they deny, and make a dynamic cross if you already have the ball and the defense is over-aggressive. This is a foundational concept in any system, and every great possession starts with recognizing space and making the right read. Now in the next episode, we'll zoom out and talk about off-ball movement as a whole. We're going to analyze how players should react off of dribble drives, and also discuss proper timing and spacing. Thanks for watching episode 2 of the Player Development Series. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.